Hello and welcome to the 21st Century Work-Life podcast, where we talk about leading remote teams, online collaboration, and working in distributed organizations. My name is Pilar Orti, and I'm the director of Virtual Not Distant, a company where we help managers of remote teams to get the most out of online collaboration. You can find out everything we do over at virtualnotdistant.com. Hello and welcome to episode 326 of the 21st Century Work-Life podcast. My name is Pilar Orti and I'm the director of Virtual Not Distant, the company behind this show. And today's episode, well, I loved this conversation because it's been a while since I had two guests on an episode together. So I was delighted to welcome Sergey Fedorov and Tatiana Ivanova from A1 SolarStore. And the other reason why I thought it was really interesting to have them on the show is because their product is such a physical product. They deal with solar energy. So I thought that is very different to our regular kind of guests. And also just the way that they look at the business, I found it really refreshing. So in this episode, we are talking, they are talking mainly about, they talk about their origin story, the kind of people that they look for to work in their company, and also how they communicate, of course, as a distributed team because they are fully distributed. So I hope you will enjoy this episode as much as I did. Thank you for listening. Hello and welcome to another episode of the 21st Century Work-Life podcast. My name is Pilar Orti and I'm your host, if we haven't met before. And today I'm so delighted because I have not one but two guests with me. And we've never met before. We've exchanged a couple of emails with Tatiana and one of her colleagues, but I've never met my second guest. And so I'm looking forward to sharing with you listeners my own discoveries about what they do and how they operate. So I already mentioned Tatiana Ivanova, who is the business manager at A1 SolarStore. Hello, Tatiana.
Hello, Pilar. Nice to meet you.
And with her, we have Sergey Fedorov, who is the co-founder and current CTO at A1 SolarStore. Hello, Sergey.
Hello, Pierre. How are you?
Very well. Well, I've got some questions and we can start with, I think I'm curious about what your company does. So, Tatiana, do you want to tell us what does A1 SolarStore do?
Yeah, I believe that Sergey will tell just the right things because he's actually the founder.
Yes.
So that will be better to listen from him about the company just from the first-hand experience.
Okay, my turn.
Go for it.
Okay, first of all, thank you, Pilar, for you inviting us to our show. Honestly, then Raina, our PR manager, just showed me your podcast. I thought, like every episode resonates with me. Yeah. So I saw solar equipment like solar panels, inverter, solar batteries, and so on. And we also have ready-made solar system that we design individually for every client. Now we are working in USA, Canada, so we have big plans for global expansion. To dig a bit deep, you can compare our store to Amazon. The only exception then we don't have our own warehouses. In simple words, we help clients get the products from solar suppliers in small quantities. They couldn't without us. So actually, A1 SolarStore is more than just a store. We also have a nice content production. There is a solar magazine with guides and articles, different solar topics. And last year, we launched a YouTube channel and started posting it on Instagram. So together, the content we publish as a guide to the world of solar energy. This is important mission, not only for business, but also for the popularization of solar energy. So our second goal after business.
Nice. And so are your clients, customers, are they individuals or are they organizations, businesses? Who buys from you?
18% is the residential customers.
80%, did you say?
80%, yeah.
Okay, so individuals or households.
Yes, yeah.
How does it work then? Would I be looking for solar panels, for example, for my house? Or would I be looking, for example, to change how my house is powered and then I would go to your website? Is that kind of thing?
So it depends. It depends on the situation. A lot of people want to less to less payment. Electricity bill. They're looking for options.
Yeah, as Sergey said, sorry, just you see there are different reasons. Yeah, so for one reason, you can reduce your electricity bill, which is getting higher and higher every year. And it's really worrying situation nowadays with the electricity rates. And there are, of course, some people who go solar just for environmental reasons, just to be eco-friendly and just have a sustainable lifestyle.
And so Sergey was saying that so someone would go to the website, have a look and say they want to buy from you. What happens then? Because I think he said that you're not manufacturing per se.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, we don't manufacture ourselves. We are like a online display of the equipment we can supply to our customers in an easier way than they could do that themselves. For example, you can't buy from some suppliers if you are an individual and you need only one or two solar panels, but we can because we have those contacts.
And how long have I suppose I want to maybe ask Sergey if he's one of the co-founders. When was the company set up and why?
We set off 5 years ago. 5 years ago. It's a nice story to tell you now. Amazing coincidence. Back then, I ran a digital agency, and Alexei, my future business partner and co-founder of A1 SolarStore, came to us to promote his website. And he was looking for a new project, something about online sales and renewable energy. And I was looking for a project too at the time. I wanted to be outside of Russia and related to technology and software development. It's my general skills. So we started to learn more about each other. So it turned out that we had similar ideas on how to run a business, how to build a team, and most importantly, we had similar goals. We had never wanted to build A1 SolarStore is a standard vertical company with excited meetings and imposed bureaucracy.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, last year we had an experiment of producing compulsory everyday meetings, but it didn't work.
Mm-hmm.
Back to the story. The main idea of us was to create such company where you could work from literally anywhere, be able to take days or week off without any serious consequences to the company and customers. And it seems like we have made it there.
Yeah.
We managed to find like-minded people to build a solid company. Perhaps that is why, despite the overall company growth, constant changes of roles and process, we have about 50% of employees who have been with for 3 years. It's our life. It's our company.
So at the moment you are distributed. You are a distributed company. Is that right?
Exactly, right.
Where are the people? How many people are working and how are you set up?
There are about 20 of us. Why I say 20? Why I say about? Because there are some permanent employees, full-time. doing full-time job, and there are some part-time employees and some people who are doing some small tasks for us, just who we pay hourly. Yeah, so the number of people in our team changes sometimes. Yeah, and we are actually everywhere from the United States to Bali. So just the whole globe is A1 SolarStore. Yeah, and we are distributed in such a way that it happens so that the development part of our team, yeah, is located mostly around the Moscow time and Turkey time, which is GMT +2. And the sales team is located, of course, in the United States. Okay, again, partially, I will explain it later. Yeah, represented by Alexei, the co-founder of the company. Yeah, he is there because first of all, he establishes this contact with the suppliers to make this whole thing run. And he talks to the customers. So he's on the phone. So that's it.
And did you say it was it, and this might be a question for Sergey, so Sergey, just let us know, because at the moment, listeners, I can see Tatiana, but I can't see Sergey, so it's that's why he'll need to raise his hand with his voice if he wants to interject. So one team all being in one time zone, more or less, and the other team all being in time zone. Did you say this was by chance, or was it a deliberate?
It was... Okay, on the one hand, it is by chance. On the other hand, it is just starting, just every company starts from the leader, from the founder. And as Alexei was initially located in the United States, so he is there. And Sergey is initially from Russia. So we started just hiring Russian-speaking people who are actually living in this time zone. But then we started expanding. So it is the SIS countries, CIS countries like Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, and so on, who are people from there are also in this time zone, more or less. Yeah, so just you see, within the company we're speaking Russian, but that doesn't prevent us from working the American market.
Thank you. Anything to add around the setup and the distribution of employees in the company, Sergey?
If you understand our business model, our general business is development and marketing, because our first of sales is website, because we don't have a large call center. We have only sales support and technical support, and sales team is small.
Yeah, there are actually two people who are Alexei, who is just managing the orders and do the main stuff, just talking to the people. Yeah, and there is Vic, our technical engineer, who is just designing the solar systems for their clients when they want a turnkey solution, not just a separate equipment. Yeah, and he also just consults them on some technicalities of choosing solar panels and so on. So yeah, one of the main ideas of the business initially was to create such a machine that could sell on itself, just not without salespeople on the phone 24/7. You see, so that is why we are investing lots of time and effort in the development of our website and the marketing and the advertising, and trying to making it as natural and organic as possible for the customers to go from the idea of going solar to the installation, just without actually our help, visible help, which is implied in the website, of course.
Nice. So you'll come to a point where, from the customer point of view, it really will not matter where anyone is based, because the thing just runs.
Right.
Well, just runs as long as you're all behind it, making sure it runs well,
of course,
which we always forget about, that there's a whole team making it. Always like, oh, well, it's just all automated. They're doing nothing. Well, someone has to make sure it still works and that it grows, etc. Nice. Very interesting. So I am interested in this thing you were saying, Sergey, of the kind of business that you wanted to have. And you mentioned in particular, for example, people being able to take time off, that you have a distributed company, which is a decision in itself. It affects the company. What kind of people thrive at your company, Sergey? Just because that will give us who are the kind of people that are best suited to work in your organization, given the way in which it operates.
We are a horizontal company. We're hiring only high organization people because we're absolutely remote team. Mm-hmm. Maybe Tatiana tell more about because she launched our general business processes between our teams.
For sure. Right. So, of course, as Sergey mentioned, we're looking for self-organized people because, working in different parts of the world, not being in touch 24/7 and not seeing each other every minute requires being organized. So otherwise, despite the fact that we are telling that we are just like free people in a free company and we are allowed to do and to organize our day just in a way we want, of course the work should be done, and of course it requires some skills of self-organization. I believe that even more important quality we are looking for is being multifaceted person, because we are still a startup. Despite we are 5 years old, we are still a startup, and actually we want to continue to be a startup because there is a special spirit of it when you are a small company and you're a daring company trying to grow big, you see, and to do different things we can't always find the right person, or just sometimes we actually aren't able to find the right person because of some financial issues, or because we can't even formulate the position we're looking for, because it's maybe the most difficult thing to formulate who we are looking for, because most of the time most of us are jacks of all trades, you see. And if you come to us as a PR manager, as Irina, who you talked to, you're not just doing PR in the company, you're also involved in social media, you're also involved in some marketing things. So, and people, just it shouldn't be imposed on them. They are people who should want to do that, who should be eager to develop not only vertically, which is also possible in our company, but also horizontally, to try different things, to try their hands and different stuff. So this is what we actually value in our employees, who are always okay with some maybe crazy stuff we we create, or sometimes they come to us, to the management and say, oh, I have such an idea, let's do that. And that's maybe the key to our next step to our growth.
I love that, because I am a generalist and I'm someone who I think that's why I've set up so many different businesses, because I like to do everything and I like to learn about everything. So it's really interesting just listening to you. It already starts to give me a sense of, well, of course, there's lots of other factors I don't know about, but the sense of the culture, a sense of where some of the sense of belonging might come in your company. Because this is a real, that's very, very clear. So let's see, because this is so interesting. What I'm hearing is that actually communication is really important, because if you're expecting people to grow with you in this way, that's even harder than just getting better at what you're doing. And I imagine it needs a lot more communication and collaboration. So what are some of the things you do in the company to keep people, to get them to feel connected, but also autonomous as they need to be?
First of all, just what we started with, we created a united, just a unified, a better word would be, system working environment. Just for work, because when you are in different platforms, like you chat on Telegram, you do the task on Trello board, and then you, create presentations somewhere else, it all just makes a mess, a really mess out of work. work. So we started with turning to Microsoft environment. Yeah, we have been there for a year already, and it proved itself a really nice tool for us, because here we have different chats of depending on the division. For example, SEO, I don't know, content production, YouTube, and so on, where you can chat and then instantly decide to have a call, and you just in a matter of a click you have a video meeting with all of the teammates, which is really cool. Yeah, and of course there is maybe not a problem but an issue of connecting the two sides, the sales and the development, because the time gap is really huge. It's about 7 hours, I believe, but still we kind of overlap for about 2 or 3 hours, which is the beginning of the American working day and the end of development, which is Moscow time working day. So we plan our meetings, joint meetings on this time, yeah, for this time period, and by now it works. It works nice. We tried last year, as Sergey mentioned, introduce some regular meetings together, but it showed, like, we saw that at some point it became more of a bureaucracy than of a real necessity, because at the beginning we did have topics to discuss, but at the end we just gathered together to discuss some latest news and then go to back to work. So once again, this is a unified working environment. This is just some time periods for both teams to connect, to have meetings. Yeah, and this is maybe the still we cannot only work in Microsoft, because, for example, for Scrum needs, yeah, for task management, Microsoft maybe not the best idea, so we use Trello. But still, if we introduce some side applications or tools, yeah, they should be limited. We try to use, for example, Mira. It's very popular nowadays for different stuff, for I don't know, road mapping, for brainstorming, for presentations, and so on. So just not to expand that too much.
And do you have anywhere written down how to use these things or why you use them? Or is there any standardized guidelines, or you've all learned through it together and it's part of the culture and how things are done?
It appeared step by step, so it wasn't like we gathered together and say, okay, we do it like that, and we manage our things there and in such a way. No, of course, we just started introducing different tools step by step, but finally, yeah, we came to a guideline for our old employees, let's call them like that, and for the newcomers, which in its turn grew into onboarding process for the newcomers. Of course, we have a list of guidelines, how we work, our principles, what tools we use, but as we said, we are not. There is no bureaucracy. Yeah, you are free to use the tools or to work in a way you are adapted to. Yeah, you're acquainted with. Yeah, so we are open. We are just inviting people with fresh ideas, and sometimes we see that it really works better than we used to do it. Yeah, and then we adopt this new method in our guidelines.
And Sergey was mentioning earlier that it's quite if I understood correctly, quite a flat organization. I mean, the numbers I think are still manageable enough for that. Do you have any hierarchy at all? Have you got any managers or any team leaders at the moment? How does?
Yeah, we have a simple structure. So we have a product manager. It's me, and business manager, Tatiana, and project manager who develop resource management. Yeah, that's all. And we have co-founders meetings every week and time to time. So every employees can make call founder all the day, every day. Yeah, it's fast. It's simple. and it's working.
Yeah, and it's important to mention that despite we have 3 managers, like so to say, main managers, yeah, actually every employee is kind of a manager their own, because they at least they manage their own work, and sometimes they are the manager of their division, for example the content division or SEO division, and they have some employees maybe who are doing part-time job or hourly jobs. Just in simple words, we are all managers in such a way. Yeah, but
Yeah,
which is also one of the key factors we are looking for in our newcomers. Yeah, to have these management skills related to self-organization, of course, but still something different.
So say, for example, that what you were talking about before, especially because you're growing and you could grow in very many different ways, which is why people who are multifaceted might thrive at the company. How do you decide whether to maybe look at a new market, for example, or a new, or if the website needs like a big revamping, or there's something missing in the website and you need to invest some resources in bringing something in? How are those decisions made? I mean, sorry, because I don't understand the nuances of the product, so my examples might be completely inappropriate, but I think you know what I mean. How do those decisions get made?
It's simple because if you have a metrics about new product, new market, Tatiana research it and collect our vision. We make a decision together because we have a similar weight in our team.
You see, there are different decisions to make, and Sergey and Alexey, the 2 co-founders, are mostly responsible for, let us say, global decisions, like where to expand, what kind of product to introduce, again in the global sense of the word. Yeah, and me and my colleague Alexander, who's project manager, we're responsible for maybe some smaller but still crucial changes, which are most of the time brought to us by the clients, because when we receive some reviews, when we talk to the sales department and they say that, for example, today I received a call from a client and he said that the email doesn't work and he couldn't go to checkout. Of course, this is the time we take action. And sometimes when we start fixing those bugs, we just see, well, this doesn't work as smoothly, as easily as we wanted it to be, yeah, and we wanted it to work, and we start thinking of improving the existing structure, and this is how the changes are introduced in our company at this level.
Nice. Yeah, very clear. I think that the different things over which people are making decisions for themselves and in the broader context of the company is very clear. And then that's how you need then you can start to have that flatter kind of organization. It's a question of who's deciding what in what arena. Yeah. And then where do I'll call them gig workers. So where do the people who do odd jobs for you that you have, so you said in the beginning you're about 20, so the about, how do they work with you? Do different people in the organization work with them, or is there one point of contact? I'm just curious how they come into the picture.
Tatiana?
I just I can see this is a small pause. Okay,
I think this is your question.
Okay, good. Well, yeah, just in case, just you wanted to add something. Well, again, it depends. It depends on the kind of work we are looking for. For example, we have a front-end developer, which is quite an important position in an IT company as a part-time worker. But still, it is enough for us, for our quantities. Yeah, and just how we keep in touch. He's always in contact with me, with developers. He isn't at the meetings, at the general meetings every day, but still, we are kind of just bring some latest news to him, just to bring the context, what is going on, and that is enough. So for him, it's okay not to be present at every meeting. And again, this is a very important thing, just how we decide which position to hire for full-time or part-time. If it is important to know the context, if it is important, to boil in this casserole of, let us put it like this, in the cuisine manner, yeah, of the events of Solar World, of course, it should be a full-time employee, because otherwise it is impossible to work, to show a good result, yeah, with your work. Yeah.